Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm starting out this week's meal prep the way I usually do, cutting up some veggies. This week I do need some celery for one of my recipes that I'm going to share with you. So I'm just going to cut up some celery pretty finely, and then I'm going to cut some sticks up so I can have some celery sticks with some hummus. And then I have some peppers to cut up that I'm going to have for salads, and then also for some hummus or ranch dip as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get all my veggies chopped up, and then we'll jump right into making the meals.
Would you stay till the morning light? Or would you follow me? Or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away. Before you make up your mind that I'm nowhere to find, I'm standing right here. I know that I told you we're over, I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me. Would you stay till the morning light? Or would you follow me? Or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Till the morning light. Till the morning light. Till the morning light, yeah. Till the morning light. Till the morning light. Till the morning light, yeah. Maybe.
So we have some fresh veggies for salads and also for dipping in hummus or ranch dip, all ready to go. First up, we're going to start with one of my lunches this week, and that is going to be some Thanksgiving meatballs. I'm going to have these with some riced cauliflower stuffing that I found at Walmart. But for the meatballs, we need some ground turkey, celery, some parsley, some minced garlic, some onions. We're also going to need some egg whites, some turkey stuffing or whatever kind of stuffing you want, some dried reduced sugar cranberries, and then I'm also going to put a little bit of a turkey gravy mix inside of that. So, and then here is the stuffing. So it's rice cauliflower stuffing. I found this at Walmart. I've had it in my freezer. I've been trying to go through my freezer, so I decided to have this instead of mashed potatoes, which was my plan for this to begin with. First up, of course, we are going to weigh out some turkey. I bought a 3-pound thing of turkey this week because I wanted to use some of it to make some taco meat and then some of it for the meatball. So I'm just going to weigh out a pound of ground turkey, and then we're going to add in the rest of the ingredients. So we're going to need some a 1/4 cup of celery, a 1/4 cup of onions, 1.5 cups of the stuffing mix. Again, you can use whatever kind you want. I just grabbed the turkey one. We're going to need a 1/3 cup of egg whites. This is just going to help kind of bind all that together. We're going to need I'm just put a heaping tablespoon of minced garlic, some salt and pepper, and then we're going to do 2 tablespoons of the reduced sugar craisins, and that will be everything. Then we're going to mix it all together, and I'm going to form up some meatballs. I'm just going to use my little cookie scoop here. I'm going to make 20 meatballs. I'm going to do 4 for each serving. So I'm going to make 5 servings out of this. So these will go into a 400-degree oven and cook for about 16 minutes. You just want to cook them until the turkey is cooked all the way through. So you need to be at least 165 degrees. But mine took 16 minutes exactly. And then while those are in the oven, we're going to go ahead and start on our rice stuffing. So I just did this how it is on the back of the bag. So on the back of the bag it said put it in 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which I just used a tablespoon of avocado oil because that's what I had. So I just put a tablespoon in there. It says to put the stuffing mix right into the pan, put the lid on it, and cook it. I think it said like at medium for 9 minutes and stirring occasionally. And then you take the lid off and you let it simmer. You turn this heat down a little bit, then you let it simmer for another 2 to 3 minutes or so until all the moisture is gone. Because since it's this frozen, it's going to give off quite a bit of moisture. You guys, I had to tell you, this smelled absolutely amazing. It has carrots and celery, and of course rice cauliflower, has cranberries in it. You can smell all the like stuffing spices. Oh my goodness, you guys, this smelled absolutely amazing. Stay tuned next week for my what I eat video. I do a whole weekly full of what I eat, and I'll let you know how this stuff tasted, but I can tell you it smelled absolutely amazing. So once that was done and the meatballs were done, I went ahead and put together my meal prep containers. So I just measured out a serving of the rice cauliflower, added in the 4 meatballs, and then I made some turkey gravy. I just made it from a packet this time. Normally I'll make it my own, but I didn't want to open up a thing of chicken broth just to make a little bit of gravy. So I did use a packet of turkey gravy, and I just put a 1/4 cup of the gravy on top of each one of these meal prep containers. And this will be my lunch for the week, so I will just heat these up. And as I always say, I'm not the only one eating these. My son does eat my meal preps as well. So I usually have this or leftovers, or I cut up all those veggies that I'll have salads and stuff for lunch this week as well. But this is just one of my options. But I'll tell you guys, this smelled so good, and I cannot wait to let you know what I thought about it. I also just made up a simple thing of taco meat, so I used my homemade taco seasoning for this, and I also put a can of diced green chilies in this as well. And I'm just going to have taco salads as one of my options for lunch, or maybe a quick dinner or something, but I do like to have taco meat in there. I have some tortillas. I can make some tacos or like some tostadas. I do have some tostada shells, but I can just throw together whatever to make anything out of my quick. I really wanted this week's dinners to be super quick and easy, so I'm just going to do 3 simple sheet pan meals this week. I'm going to use some chicken marinades that I'm going to share with you right now. So I have 3 different marinades to share with you. The first one is going to be a sweet chili marinade, which I will be pairing this chicken with some veggies that I'm going to toss in some teriyaki sauce and maybe some of the sweet chili sauce. And then I'm also going to have some rice on the side, and I'll just put all of that on the sheet pan. So for this marinade, we need a 1/4 cup of water, and then 6 tablespoons of this sweet chili sauce. I've never had this before. I did taste it. It is very, very good. This is the G Hughes sugar-free, only 5 calories per serving. So you want 6 tablespoons of this. And the original recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, but I'm going to go ahead and do coconut aminos. I do usually like to substitute coconut aminos for the soy sauce. It's just a personal preference, so completely up to you. You could also use liquid aminos as well if you don't want to do, as much soy with the soy sauce, but this is what I'm using right here. So you want to go ahead and just whisk that all together, and then you're just going to pour it over your chicken. And then again, like I said, I'll be doing this on a sheet pan, so I'll just heat up my oven for all of these sheet pan meals. Heat up my oven probably to like 425, and just add any veggies or anything else to the sheet pan. I like to put the name on this because I will be putting this into the freezer and just pulling it out the night before that I have it for dinner. The next one is going to be a yogurt curry. Never had anything even similar like this before. For this, we're going to need some Greek yogurt. I'm using the Sucrin Gold alternative brown sugar. Also going to need some curry powder and some lime juice. So you just need a 1/4 cup of the Greek yogurt. I'm just using the plain non-fat 0% Fai yogurt. That's what I had in my refrigerator. And then you're going to need, I believe it was 2 teaspoons of curry, but I will have the original recipe down below. And then 1 teaspoon of your brown sugar. You can use regular brown sugar, or you can use the replacement kind like I have here. This is a Sucrin Gold. I get it on Amazon, or you can get it through Nutrition as well. And then you're going to put your curry in there, and then your lime juice. Again, check out the description box where I will have a link to the one. Actually, I found all of these marinades on one website, so you can find that link down below in the description box. So I'm going to add the lime juice and just give it a good whisking. Now, there is a note on this recipe that you can still throw this into the freezer, and that is that the yogurt will kind of separate a little bit once you thaw it out, but it says that does not compromise the taste of this. So feel free to go ahead and throw it in the freezer. That's what I plan on doing. Like I said, I'm going to be putting all these in the freezer, and then I will be pulling them out the night before I have them for dinner. This particular one, I'm going to pair this one with just some veggies. I didn't know what else would go along with this, so I'm just going to do some mixed vegetables, throw them in on the sheet pan with this chicken, and just maybe toss them with a little bit of oil and then just some sort of seasoning, and that'll be my dinner for the night. The last marinade I'll be making is going to be a Chipotle lime, I believe is what it's called. So for this one, you need some oil, some minced garlic, some lime juice, some more brown sugar, some chipotle peppers, and then some paprika. So this recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of oil. I think it said olive oil, but I usually use avocado oil, so that's what I have here. I don't think it really makes much of a difference what kind you use. So you want to put that in there. We're going to do some chipotle. It said to just use just the sauce in this, just the adobo sauce. But I went ahead and just tossed in also a couple of the peppers in there as well. I don't know, just to me, it just seemed like it would just add a lot more flavor to it. But I did put 2 or 3 teaspoons of the adobo sauce. And then it calls for a half of a teaspoon of paprika. I'm using smoked paprika. That is my preferred thing when I have it with most recipes. Unless it specifically says don't use smoked paprika, that's what I usually use. And then as usual, I don't really measure out my garlic. I usually just do a heaping tablespoon of garlic is what I almost always put in all my recipes. And then you also need I think it was 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. Again, I'm using the Sucre and Gold. And I believe it called for 2 or 3 tablespoons of the lime juice. Again, check out that recipe. Yeah, that squirted across the room, by the way. Like I said, check out that recipe down in the description box. So I'm going to go ahead and whisk all this together. And then, like I said, I did end up adding a couple of the adobo peppers to the plastic bag with the chicken. And this one, I'm going to pair this one with some like Mexican cauliflower rice I used to make all the time when I was on keto. It's like, I think the recipe is even called keto Spanish rice. It is so good, absolutely amazing. It's just rice cauliflower and you just make it kind of in a Mexican rice. That's what I'll be pairing this one with. And I cannot wait to have this. Definitely will be sharing with you all week. I'm going to record all my meals all week, and I will be sharing with you how I feel about all of these recipes. And this is something I'm definitely going to do again because I cannot wait. This is going to be like the easiest week of dinners ever. Everything's all ready to go, and I can just throw them in the oven after I get home from work and ready to go. For breakfast, I'm going to do some breakfast burritos. So in my freezer, I already had these frozen turkey patties. I had just 4 left, so it was great. Some eggs, some Simply Potato hash browns. I'm going to use the Olay Extreme Wellness wraps, and then some cheese. So I used actually a whole dozen of eggs. I'm going to make 8 of these breakfast burritos. So I used a whole dozen of eggs. I'm going to add in a pretty generous amount of onion salt. I love this onion salt from Trader Joe's. I think this is my last a bottle of it. I may have to like talk my son into getting some because he's up in that area more than I am. So I'm going to sprinkle some of that in there, cook up the eggs, and then we're just going to assemble them. So I heated up the turkey patties in the microwave, just putting a wrap down, adding the eggs, adding the cheese, adding the hash browns. I did put the hash browns in the air fryer, so they're just a little bit cooked and crispy. And these will go into the air fryer at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes before I leave for work in the morning. And then I have a grab and go breakfast burrito. There's so many ways you can do breakfast burritos. These will also go into the freezer, and I'll just pull one out in the morning, throw it in the air fryer, and I'm ready to go. So you guys check out that description box for all the recipes, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.